Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. How's everybody doing tonight? I see we got 8 people just waiting for the show to start. That is awesome to see. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. If you haven't seen already, I've got it down there, so it should be fairly easy to see. We do have DeathDoctor as our guest tonight, so he'll be on after the break at 11:15. Should be a good interview. I don't believe I've heard much about the server that he's on, so it's going to be interesting to find out the state of that server. So, as is the new format, we're going to hang out and chat for half an hour or so. If you've got questions that you want answered, this would be your best chance to get them in. Well, thank you very much for the follow there. Awakingly, I think that's how it's pronounced. That's what I'm going to go with. If I'm incorrect, please let me know. But thank you very much for the follow. As well as, I carry Faux Fun. Thank you very much for that follow. And Street U PK. And Nakamanda. And XCred 27T. They all followed while I was offline, so didn't get a chance to thank them, but if they watch the VOD, I want them to know that I did thank them. So, once again, if there's any questions, I can see Twitch chat as well as YouTube chat. Got the multi-stream chat thing going. So, as always, any questions, feel free. If not, we can just jump right into the gameplay. I'll get that queued up, just in case. We're getting messages and emails and everything's buzzing and beeping all the time. Alright, well, I don't see any questions coming in, so either chat is broken, or people just want me to get on with the gameplay, which I can do by clicking that button. So we've got a bunch of resources, some power waiting to be collected, storage has been upgraded. We were getting a few little things done at work today, but I was having some issues with the with expansion. What do we have here? Yeah, he was asking me some questions earlier. Hello, Orange. How's it going? Thank you very much for joining us once again. Will snipers hurt their mounted archers, though? Yes, they will. And it's funny, this brings up a good point. The mounted archers, like the bow knights, because they're a ranged mounted unit, they technically count as both. So if you went snipers to counter the range and then halberdiers to counter the mounted, I'm pretty sure they would double up. Because, I mean, the bow knights meet both criteria. You know, they're a ranged unit, so the snipers would prioritize them. But they're mounted, so the halberdiers would do extra damage to them. Is this a good setup? Would it help against Gondor? If they're using, yeah, this would be a better setup for Khaldun. Axel, hello. I carry Faux Fun. How's it going? This game is so addicting. Yes, it is. It's terribly addicting. I'm lucky that I have a job now because I'm not devoting every minute of the day to this. But yeah, in the betas, I was unfortunate enough to be laid off during the pandemic thing and the shutdowns here. But I mean, that meant I had a ton of time to invest in the betas. And so I was on pretty much like all day, every day during the betas. And it's very possible to do that. This game, like I said, very addicting. Very addicting. Awakingly, what's up? Chat was acting up for a little bit. Okay, so it was chat acting up. That's what I kind of thought. It seemed odd that nobody was asking questions or anything. But like I said, I didn't know if people just wanted me to get on with the gameplay, so I figured I would jump into it just in case. But if we do have questions coming in, then I can transition back over to the Q&A here. What gear stats are best to use? I see focus is for defense and might is damage. I have Gimli and Legolas. As Loth, I love having this duo, but kind of worried I'm not gearing them correctly. Ezra says, hello chat. I carry Fofun, number one. Yes, you are, I carry Fofun. Lady C's joining us again. Hello. So Ezra, to get back to your question here, the one thing I want to address first is when you say focus is for defense. It does reduce damage. What is it? Okay, I'm not remembering correctly now. There was a thing about it, but it is basically a good way, a basic way of thinking of it. Focus is for defense, and yeah, might is damage. So sorry, that went nowhere. As far as gearing them, for Legolas, for any commanders like Legolas that are doing poison damage, you do want to give them some focus, but might is definitely the primary stat, just because he's doing physical damage most of the time. Gimli, might is going to be his main stat. He wants to do physical damage all the time. One of the things that I use as kind of a baseline for my gear, sorry, I go into the commander portraits and I look at their stats. You can generally get a basic kind of idea when you look at their base stats. You'll see that there are some commanders like Gandalf whose focus is pretty high, his might is low, and his speed is meh. Like it's kind of average or in the middle or low, whatever. And that tells you that he wants to be a focus-based commander. Then there are other commanders. I think Legolas kind of falls under this tree where all three of his stats are kind of balanced at a base level. They're all in like the hundreds or something. Those commanders, you need to kind of look at their abilities and figure out, okay, is this guy going to be doing physical damage more often or focus damage more often? If it's focus damage and they have abilities, especially that say effect modified by, if there's skills on your commander that say effect modified by might stat or effect modified by focus stat, that tells you right there that you want to be boosting that stat for that commander. So does that kind of help Ezra in terms of where you should be focusing your gear stats? Jesh, can the same be said for Kamul? You're going to have to be more specific there, Jesh. I'm not sure. I've lost the context for your question. Is it something about the question I'm answering here, or? All right, Ezra, I'm glad that helps. While you're getting back to me there, Jesh, I'm going to try and finish this. Yes, that's a good Khaldun setup. Oh, okay, I got to click back in here because I was clicking off the... Okay. And yes... mounted archers, because I know that in some languages the units are named differently. I ran into issues last beta trying to explain units to people, and I would just use the names that I have in English, and I noticed there was things like the Reapers, there were a few units that were named differently. You know, like the translation isn't one-to-one. And so I've learned to try and start using more general terms. Snipers, Corsairs if he has them, and he's wanting to go against Gondor. I honestly think Crushers, because they lower defense. But because Gondor, a lot of their units have plate armor, the Crushers lowering defense on units on hit is a big benefit. Okay, he's got it. Alrighty, and what is Crown? Yeah, alright. Yeah, this was just an issue we were dealing with. Oh boy, now we got people betraying. Alright. Betrayal is always fun. Matthias, does the shop of the event Heart of the Hero get reset daily? No. If you have, I gotta claim these. If you have damaged a boss and received warrior medals, and purchased your limit of these, you have to wait until next weekend to get more. That was something that we all in the beta kind of thought was a little crappy, because you can collect a ton of medals, but it's very easy to run out of stuff to purchase. So yeah, kind of unfortunate that way, but Axel, how's the map of your server been looking? Very green. Very green. Wow, this is new. But yeah, they did this earlier too, I guess. Yeah, it looks very green. Isengard and the elves are doing pretty well up here, though. Gondor is looking a lot like Rohan did in most of the betas. Mordor is looking fairly healthy. They made a good call coming out to Horondor here. This gives them access to Gondor through here. They can get up through here, I think. They're duking it out right now for South Ithilien, it looks like. But yeah, it's looking interesting. Awa Kingley, what's the most optimal team for Kamul and Grima? I watched your Evil Commander video as well as past streams, but it's difficult to figure a full team composition. So for Kamul, the main two units that you want to run on Kamul are Mountain Trolls and Reapers. Again, Reapers may be called something different if you're not playing on an English client, but they are Angmar's unit that they only have two units, a tier 2 and a tier 3, instead of like the 3 units that you normally get. They have a damage buff from round 5 onwards that gets pretty large. But you need to keep them alive until round 5 in order to make use of that. And the reason they work really well on Kamul is because he can get anticipation in the second in command tree, which was the allied unit with the lowest defense gets at max, I believe it's a 75% chance of avoiding all damage from the first 4 instances of damage. So that right there gives them a pretty good chance of surviving, but it's only 4 instances of damage, and it's a 75% chance, which is why I pair them with the mountain trolls, because they also get a 3-round taunt. So, but it's not a guarantee either. It's got, it maxes out at, I think, 90 or 95%, something like that. But if you pair the 2 of those together, it gives them a pretty high chance of surviving until round 5, and then they can do really high damage. I believe the discipline skill is the other offshoot of that at max gives your entire army an extra 35 defense, which is huge. On Grima, he also has the second in command tree, and I basically ran the same composition, except I would replace the mountain trolls for ravagers, because Grima's madness works against the mountain troll taunt. So even if Grima afflicts an enemy unit with madness, if the mountain trolls are there and the taunt goes off, that unit is guaranteed to attack the mountain troll. So again, the madness and mountain trolls work against each other. That was something that took us a little while to figure out, but once we did, it was like, okay, you got to switch them out. Makes a good slot for ravagers if you do have them. It's hard to maintain both ravagers and mountain trolls, but it is an option. Otherwise, you can do reapers, crushers, snipers, something like that, because again, the reapers will still have a pretty high chance of surviving with the anticipation skill, just not as high as it being paired with the mountain trolls. Balrogs and Smogs, are they worth the troop loss? I just got tier 4 March Wardens. Should I use fodder troops like tier 2 to attack them? Well, as you can see here, the rewards that you can get are 15,000 gold, 1 Matham token, and 400 gems. I personally don't think it's worth the troop losses for that. That can be, the 15,000 gold can be obtained through 1 or 2 levies. Not a problem, Awa. I hope it helps. 1 Matham coin is not worth the troop losses at all. And 400 gems, that's, 1 Matham chest or a tavern tip refresh and a discounted Matham chest. But yeah, I don't think these are worth it at all. These are worth it. If you're able to get especially the suppressor spoils, and these are obtained by placing in the top 5 damage rankings against a single boss, but the boss has to be defeated. So you generally need to team up to do that. And then these you get by just depleting their HP by more than 5%. But if you've already claimed these suppressor spoils, you cannot claim the warrior spoils. So, like I said, this one I do think is worth it. I know people were getting, I heard some people getting like millions of gold from these chests, and then you get a ton of speed ups. So if you can team up with some people and guarantee that you're going to take a boss down, then it might be worth it. But anymore, just throwing troops at it to get those warrior medals, no. There's way better things you could be spending your troops on, in my opinion. And yeah, there you go. Jason Fennel puts in right there. Like, he got 150,000 gold for the top prize. Now, you had to defeat the boss, right, Jason? You didn't... Yeah, it's... You did have to defeat the boss, right? Just if you can confirm that for us, that'd be great. Ezra saw a thread where a guy killed it by himself. No, it can happen. You can do it by yourself. It's just hard. But like Balrogs, if you go with, because I think Balrogs count as a large unit. So Dwaylen with the Giant Slayer ability, Eowyn with the Giant Slayer ability, the same setups against trolls. That I can't 100% confirm, but I've seen a lot of people in chat talk about Dwaylen doing really well against Balrogs. And the only reason I can see that would be possible is because he's got that Giant Slayer ability. But I'll admit, I've never asked them to show me a build or whatever, so I can't confirm that they're using that. But yeah, Jason Fennel confirms for us that you do have to defeat the boss. But as you can see, if you're able to do it, Jason here got 150,000 gold for the top prize. Do you think it was worth the troop losses, Jason? I guess you're a better person to ask, since you've recently acquired a reward for it. What is your opinion on the bosses? Yeah, so get top 5 and kill it. Yeah. Matthias, if you pair Reapers with Snipers, then the Snipers will have the lower amount of defense. I don't believe so. As far as I know, Reapers always have the lowest defense. I'm pretty sure we checked that a few times. Do you know any Uruk-hai combos? The Snipers, like the Isengard Snipers, they're an Uruk-hai unit. The Berserkers, yeah, the Snipers and the Berserkers, and then probably the Alchemists. They're also an Uruk-hai unit. I'm using damage buff of 60% from Bonites and gear with GTG. I'm not sure what that is. And only losing 200 to 300 troops a fight at level 43. Nice. What commander are you using? So yeah, here we go. We've got a strat here. And is this against a Balrog, I'm guessing? Oh, Gandalf the Grey. Okay, gotcha. GTG. Makes sense now. Oh, it's against a dragon. Okay, so dragons also count as large units, which does make sense. But I mean, what is it? Ents don't count as a large unit. So, or at least they didn't in the betas. I don't know if they still don't, but in the betas they didn't, and I always thought that was friggin' ridiculous. Yeah, they don't count as a large unit or a large creature. So what that tells me is that an Ent can hide behind a troll. Figure that one out. We're gonna get the barracks maxed out. Huzzah. Ooh, alright, that just caused me to take a hit. I'll upgrade that then. I know it says that in the description, Ezra, but that's not the part that matters. Resistant large unit. Because if you actually look at trolls, and like I'll show you mama kills down here. If I can find a mama kill. Yeah, they don't actually have the large unit ability or tag thing. Yeah, this one here. This, as far as I understand, if it doesn't actually have this, then those damage bonuses don't apply. The things like bonites and all that, this is what they're countering. This down here, I've never really read these things, to be honest, because they don't actually represent a lot of the time what the unit is doing. These as well. The Berserkers, for example, if anyone from Isengard actually goes into their unit description on Berserkers, what it tells you in their description up here is technically the exact opposite of how their ability works in battle. So, to me, don't pay much attention to what this says or what this says. Go by these. These are what actually apply in battle 100%. Well, hello, Laureen de Cortine. Finally make it to a live stream. Well, welcome. Glad you could make it. Watching a couple days now and learned a lot about the game. I'm very glad I could help. You're quite welcome. I hope to be releasing more, but my schedule has gotten a lot tighter lately, so I do want to keep the streams up, but I haven't had as much time to be editing and collecting footage as I would like. So I got days off coming up. I'm gonna pump some work out. It's gonna be good. I do have, I believe it's a strengthening and refining video. Just like a gear video, mainly focused on strengthening and refining equipment and how that system works for anyone that's still unclear on that. I've just got a bit more editing to do on that, and I believe that one should be good to go fairly soon. That's planned on that being the next one out. So what do we got here? Crushers before, they aren't bad. Yeah, I got a half broken F so it doesn't come up all the time. That's the thing, it's using the crushers in combination with like the snipers and other things that are going to be more effective. But if he wants to go the halberders, as I said, he can go the halberders with it as well. Gondor does use a lot of mounted units. Their Swan Knights are a pain in the ass. A decent amount of mounted. Aha. Giving my mic a reach around whenever I want to type. Can we see your thoughts on ring spec and abilities? Yes, we can. Mine has evolved a little bit more to look like about where I like to see it. So this is what my ring looks like right now. I've got this whole tree down here maxed out. I've got control and stamina maxed with abundant Alacrity. Yeah, there we go. Jesus. I can speak. I'm working on abundant dexterity now. I do want some more commander speed, especially for guys like Theoden. But I max control first. That's basically the first ability I always max out, because that is what gives you your 30 ability points. And because you recover your ability point cap over a 24-hour period, then recovering 30 ability points over 24 hours is faster than recovering 20. So you regain your ability points a little bit faster. It's not like a crazy amount. It's, I don't know, 15 minutes or something like that, which is good. But it also just allows you a bit more flexibility, especially now that they've got that long march in there that costs, I guess, 10 ability points when you use that. So now, especially with that being in there, I think maxing control is even more important. Sorry, I guess I should have stayed in there. But once I max that out, then I come down, max out, or I don't max this out, but I get a point into this. Max out this one, because this gives all your commanders 5% extra experience from all sources. I then maxed out the, I maxed out the efficiency first to lower the stamina cost down to 10 instead of 20. I then maxed out the rationing to reduce the grain cost by 10%. And then I maxed out the experience gain so that I'm gaining an extra 10% from mock battles. So with this and this, I'm actually gaining 15% extra experience from mock battles. This then got maxed so that I had extra physical damage coming out of all my physical commanders. Stamina as well, to boost me up to 150 stamina, just again to give myself some more freedom. And this also allows you to get 15 mock battles. If you've got full ability points, full stamina on a commander, you can send them on 15 mocks, which gets you a ton of experience. As you can see, I've been putting a point into dominance whenever I can, just to make sure I keep up on my tile limit. I'm coming over into the commander speed, as I said. I'm not going to do what a lot of people probably think I am, where I've come here, a lot of people probably think I'm going for powerful sweeping and abundant force, but I save those till the end. Personally, I want to max out my commander speed, and then I want to max out focus damage. I like having these 4 maxed out earlier than later, but I don't find them more important than these other ones. I've also put a few points into fort limit, because I don't really like destroying forts if I don't absolutely have to, so I'd rather just increase my fort limit a little bit. I do increase quick order so that moving commanders into a fort is faster. And then eventually, if I do start getting into more heavy PvP and I find my forts are getting destroyed faster than I'd like, I may come up and put points into fortress. But as you can tell, I haven't mentioned this tree because I just don't ever put any points up here. And I don't put as much stock into these as other people do. 10% extra damage, that's actually not a whole lot. You know, I can get that same 10% technically by maxing out this, or I'm getting 10% extra physical damage, you know, if somebody's maxed this out and they haven't maxed this. So I don't know, I don't prioritize powerful sweeping as much. Although conscription time, yeah, this one, it's hard for me not to prioritize it, because I would like to get troops 10% faster, but I've got my prioritization on the ring set. I'm set in my ways when it comes to building my ring, so I'm more confident in suggesting that early focus on the right hand side once you get your mock battle tree maxed, at that point, it's kind of free reign. But I consider the mock battle tree to be the most important tree on the ring, because mock battling is just how you're going to get more commanders on the field faster. Having more ability points and more stamina just feeds into that loop. So that's why I include those. But as you can see, all the other stuff, it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. It gives me what it does, and I'll prioritize it when I need to or when I want to. But I want my mock battle tree. Hey, big up E. How's it going? Thank you very much for joining us once again. Just wondering, do you have any knowledge on post-season faction change from good to evil? As far as I know, like it is possible to change from good to evil. If you don't have if you're good right now and you don't have an evil account and you don't have any evil commanders unlocked, then you're going to be starting from 0. But what I've been suggesting to people is go and start an account on another server, but under your same Google name. Just go out to the main screen, hit the little flag on the left, and there's a globe icon. You can change your server there. Just go to another server, not one of the test servers though. It's got to be a normal server. Start an account, unlock some commanders. You know, you don't have to spend money, but my evil account, for example, I've got, I think, 4 commanders, just the ones I've naturally unlocked. And when I start my evil account next season, I'm going to have those 4 commanders. If that's all I end up with, then I'll at least have those 4 commanders when I start my evil account. I'm not going to be starting from absolute 0. So, because you do keep commanders, respect levels, gear, all of that that's tied to your Google Play account on whatever servers, you keep all that stuff come season rollover. Anything you have to earn in game, like commander experience to gain your levels, tiles, you know, all that stuff, that resets. But anything you have the ability to pay for is basically the easiest way of summing it up. If you have the ability to pay for it, so commanders, respect levels, gear, those things roll over to the next season. Jason, I put a screenshot in your Discord so you can see the battle reports. Thank you very much, Jason. I appreciate that. What is the max ring level? I don't actually know. Okay, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And is this 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 250 is the maximum ring level as in terms of points you can put into your tree. I don't know, like I can't see that you would gain any levels after maxing out every single ability. So to me, that's the simple answer, would be 250. I set an alarm and still late. Dang. That's all right, Kristen. You still made it. Thank you very much for joining us. Eridel Sen, Levy skill is useless. Yeah. This was something that a lot of people kind of poured over throughout the betas. So when I say this, I don't talk about it lightly. We crunched the numbers, and when you're only getting 5% extra hourly production, that is pittance if you do the math. You know, even if you're gaining 200,000 of a resource per hour, 10% of that would be 20,000. 5% is only 10,000 extra an hour that you're getting. The resource tribute bonus. Yeah, this goes up to 30% at max. But again, you know, that's actually pittance if you start doing the math. If you look at your big levy numbers and do the 30%, it's like the gold you gain from it isn't really going to allow you to get an extra skill or build that extra fort. It's a low amount of gold when you work it out. So it took some time, and there was a lot of back and forth between a lot of people about whether or not this tree was worth it. And it seems like more and more the consensus is becoming just no. It takes too long to max these out to the point that they would be beneficial. And in the time you've taken to invest in this, you could have all this and especially this, and already be just mock battling like crazy. I'll show you guys right now, if there are any like non-believers of the mock battle tree. Here's a 230 tile, and I've been mock battling Arwen on it for a while. So 15 mock battles on a 230 tile is going to get me a base of 525,000 experience, plus that bonus of 78,750. And it's only going to take 2.5 hours. That's actually not that bad. So, like I said, I've been doing this with her for, I don't know, the last little while. I got her up from, I think, 20 or 21. And she's at, I think, 37 now, that said. So, it's only been like 2 days of throwing her on mock battles, and I haven't even been able to do it every like time that it's available. Just whenever I'm able to get online and been able to send her over, I have. Yeah, I think I am gonna want to go this tree. Give the men units more damage, but yeah, because she's not concerned with focus damage. Yeah, she's not concerned with doing damage herself. That's Galadriel that's doing that. She is all focused on her allies right now. So that would be this. That's how I kind of that's my thought process for this kind of thing. To me, this would be diluting what Arwen is trying to do right now. I've got her set up to just be healing the units, reducing the damage that they take, and so it's all about the units that she brings to the fight, not her. And so because of that, I know I want to put points into this, because that's going to increase the damage that they're doing while she keeps them alive. So again, that's kind of my thought process on how I work through whether or not I want to go with like buffs and heals or damage. And it's the same thing here. I had Galadriel built more for recovery at first. I had maxed this out. I had maxed this. I think I had even maxed this out. And I was like, yeah, she's going to be healing like crazy. I sent her into battle and she sucked. I talked to Crown Weatherby about it because he's the guy last beta that had an absolutely monstrous Galadriel. And this is what he told me. He's like, well, no, man, like she wants to be dealing damage. And so I switched over, and now, yeah, she does crazy amounts of focus damage. And then now I've started, since I got that, then I started putting points into her recovery and healing stuff, because she wants to do both, a bit of a balance. And then if I get extra points, I may end up going into White Council here. Still not sure yet, though. But for anyone that is unaware, I think I had it up on the starting soon screen if anyone had seen it and was maybe a little confused or curious. when I said a 300 with pre-40 comms. Because I was challenged. I think it was last night. I was on here and I took a 260. And I happened to share the battle report. So I'm kind of proud of it. And somebody responded with, well, yeah, that's cool, but it would be really cool if you could take a 300 with commanders below 40. And so it was basically one of those challenge accepted moments. And I said I would do it on stream, because I thought that would be a hell of a thing to put on stream. So we're going to be trying that tonight. We're going to be going at it with a 38 Galadriel, a 38 Aragorn King of Men, a 38 Theoden, a 32 Haldir. We might even, actually, we might even bring our Arwen. That would be you know what? Lady C. Are you still with us, Lady C? Because if so, I kind of want your approval. I know the tradition is to end on a 200. But what if we were to end on a 300 tonight? Because yeah, we'd have a 35 Aowen to bring at it as well. And then probably 38, maybe even 39. Ooh, yeah, probably a 39. Although if she hits 40, then we're not going to be able to bring her. But I think she might hit 39. I could go buy a stamina tincture, although I wouldn't need to because she'd recover a bit of stamina over the course of this 2.5 hours. But this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 commanders that we're sending at this 200, at this 300 tile. If I even have enough troops to field them all. I just realized, I kind of just thought about that. I've been conscripting extra to prepare for it. But yeah, that's a lot of commanders, especially when you've got like Theoden with his leadership taking all those extra command points. In my live stream 3 days ago, I said that Grima was really effective in the late game against some of your armies back then. What composition did they use with Grima? I can't actually remember what composition they used army-wise. What it was, I think I remember what you're mentioning, where I said that like that's when Grima caught my attention. Whoa, jeez, that's louder than I thought it would be. Mr. King dead. You just gave me a friggin' mini heart attack hosting me. Holy, how's it going, King? Jesus. I hope that wasn't as loud for you guys as it was for me. If it was, let me know. I tried to adjust that earlier. Whew. Change it back to what? Change what back? What are you talking about? Oh, to the OG, like, zombie. No, man. I can't be looking all, like, basic like that. Yeah, overachiever. Of course. I gotta like shoot for the stars, don't I? It was loud. I'm sorry. God damn. Alright, I think I can go. Yeah, I'm gonna go see if I can do something about that right away. Although you're not gonna host me again, but Jesus, that was. I mean, I've got it at, I think, 30% too. I thought that'd be fine. Oh God, I gotta go over to the Twitch one. Nah, okay. That's just not gonna work. For one, nearly gave me a heart attack. 2, the zombie was for me. Oh. I don't think I have. Or is that showing up? Oh, cool, it is. Okay, it doesn't show up in multi-stream, but it shows up in the YouTube stream. Awesome. Yeah, let's go emotes and such. So yeah, it's, like I said, I've just been preparing basically to go after this 300 tonight. We already have Theoden loaded up. We've got Galadriel loaded up. We've got Aragorn loaded up. Haldir needs to be topped up. That'll do. We've got, Eowyn needs some troops on her. Some marshals, we got some bow knights. Or do we just want like a, do we, because we're gonna face trolls. I know we're gonna face trolls. I don't think, should I go marshals and bow knight? No, I'm gonna go, because I've got the extra calves. I'm gonna go cavaliers and bow knights with Eowyn, and like lighter on the cavaliers, heavier on the bow knights. And then this is going to allow me to reinforce Theoden with marshals, as well as cavaliers, as well as bow knights. Okay. I got a ton of Dunedains ready to go. But I'm probably not going to face archers. It's going to be mounted units and trolls. It's probably going to be trolls and fallen. That's what I'm gonna call right now. Is I will. You want me to rub my Galadriel in your face? There's my sexy ass Galadriel king. How do you like them apples? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. I figured it's gonna be mounted units of some sort, whether that's wargs with Maltok or Karun. Or Karun with the Fallen. I'm pretty sure I'm getting one of those. And then the other one, like you said, I'm pretty sure I'm getting Shadow or something like that with a ton of trolls. Just a ton of trolls. So I want to bring a ton of bow knights. And you know what? I've got 231 gold. Let's go make sure that these units are up to snuff. Yeah, because this is not acceptable. Oh, bugger all the hell. Really? I'm like, what, 13 grand short? That's just no fun. Uncooperative. That's what that is. Fine, I'll spend it here then. Really? 56% at max? That's a weird number. Usually you get like, 50 or 65 or 75. 56. That's strange. I guess maybe the math works out if you diminish that by a third multiple times. Then it eventually drops down to like some reasonable number that rounds into it or whatever. I don't know. Alright, these guys are they're doing alright. I don't have enough gold to make anyone else better anyway. So, we've got Theoden, Galadriel, Aragorn. We're going to need troops on Arwen when she's ready. That's right. Okay. Alright. That's going to be it. That's going to be the lineup. This may be, this may be a Q&A and Red Book stream until that point, because I'm not really comfortable going after anything else if I'm going after a 300. Michael L, I'm planning on a 300 with all these guys. We're going after a 300 tonight with pre-40s. Lady C pulling a Galadriel. Congratulations. I hope everybody but King Dead gets a Galadriel. We're up to 30 viewers. Hello, everybody. And Twitch chat, don't think I can't see you guys. I can see you. I know it's YouTube chat that I'm addressing right now, but I do have multi-stream chat open. So if we do have Twitch viewers wanting to get in on the chat, feel free. As I said, this is going to be... I mean, I just don't know what I guess I could clear forts, get people repositioned. Where we should probably find a 300 to go after. I think we have most of our troops up here, so yeah, we've got like Aragorn. Yeah, this is the whole bullshit that was going on earlier. Apparently, we gave this land to these guys, and I wasn't supposed to be taking tiles up here, and blah, blah, blah. Like, screw you. I didn't agree to that. So we need to find a 300. Where the heck's a 300? Yeah, goddamn, these guys are going nuts. Was a 300 near my base, I thought. Let's go back and check that out. Maybe we can just pull everybody back and... It's like all forests. I got so much goddamn wood coming in. I can't find grain to save my life anymore. Either stone or friggin' iron either. Real low on them. Oh, there we go. I think we found our target. That one looks pretty good. I would prefer a grain tile, a 300 grain tile. Let's use this crappy ass search function and see if it actually... Of course not. Because why would the search function actually reveal a tile that I'm looking for? Nope, there's a 300 forest right there. You're looking for a 300 grain tile? You're looking for one of them windmills? No. No windmill for you. So there was also a new development today. It sounds like most of you probably knew that come next season, I'm going to be 260. Next season, I'm going to be creating an evil account, and that's going to be my main focus next season. I will be leading a warband again. It will most likely be Swan again. I do love that name. Still debating whether it's going to be Angmar or Mordor, but whoever it is, I'm going to try and arrange it so that I'm on the same server as this group, whatever server these guys end up heading over to, and I'm going to try and lead the charge against them so that they can't do this again. So anyone that wants to join me in the fight against Arda Istari next season, let's get it set up. Let's start recruiting people and figure out which faction we're going to go and how we're going to go about kicking their asses. Lady C, you took a 230 so you can push her up quick. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Yes. Like that first mock battle you throw her on, you're going to see her jump up like to level 30. It's going to be great. Pablo, awesome. Bless me with Galadriel and I'll get you the numbers. I give you... Okay, I'm not giving you my luck, King, because I have shit luck with Matham pulls too. But, like, I'm... Chat. Will Galadriel into King Dead's possession? King Dead does deserve the glory that is Galadriel. So let's all will Galadriel into existence for King Dead. It's gonna happen for you, buddy. I can feel it. I can feel it. Alrighty. I just noticed we hit the 11 o'clock mark And that means I need to go take just a quick little break so that I can get a hold of DeathDoctor, make sure he's ready to go for the interview this evening, because we're going to have him on after the break and just have a little chat. See how his server's going, how his progress is going. But yeah, we got some targets we can take, so we might need to move guys back here. It looks like the 300s are down around the base, but we can figure that out as we go. Hey, look at that, Nightbot with the timing. McGamer's Lounge is open, and you can join the Discord because this Nightbot knows what he's talking about now. King Det, do you mind answering Zuazi's question here about what happens when the server resets for the start of Season 2? I would, but I'll be perfectly honest, I really need to go to the washroom. So I'm going to hit that transition button along with the muted microphone, and we shall return. Alrighty, we are back, and we do have everything set up and ready to go. So in just a few moments, we're gonna have DeathDoctor joining us. Just have a quick little chat, see what's going on his server. So if I recall correctly, he's server 64 and playing as the elves. So that'll be interesting to see how the elves are doing over there. Estelle. Is that really Estelle back in the chat? Welcome back. I was gonna say, what have I missed? Just say what server number and faction so we can get started early. Well, this is going to be the if that's about season 2, it's all going to depend on how like the server merges go, and unfortunately we still don't have enough information on season transitions to make that kind of preparation. Yes, Estelle, we all deserve a T3. Well, thank you, Estelle. I appreciate the luck. There we go. Thank you very much, King Dead, for covering that. I do appreciate the assistance there. Alrighty. We're going to get back into... Ooh, where do we go here? Go into this. We've joined. All right. I believe we have DeathDoctor with us. Do we have DeathDoctor slash?
Yep,
Ezra with
here.
us? All right, we do. How's it going tonight?
It is pretty hectic, actually. Isgard is taking the Shire, and we were okay with them taking the Shire, but now they're both trying to take both crossings in Arthdane, which is the home of Anumis. And we are telling them that they are not allowed to have the southern crossing, that they are allowed to have the northern crossing.
So that's up in this area for the stream.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm just up
correct.
on the map here, just trying to give a visual reference for the stream here. Yeah, up in
I
the
see
north.
Yep. We've surrounded Cardoon. We have noticed that the AI are still spawning after we kill them. So it looks like we're gonna have to rush our troops to take Cardoon.
Even after surrounding Cardoon with forts?
So I've noticed other people's places of Cardoon. If you go to Cardoon right now on your map, you will not have a 200 tile touching Cardoon. We cannot put a fort on the 200 tile. We've taken it.
No, I mean personal forts.
Correct. There is a 200 level tile touching, and we cannot put.
Okay.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah, we have it. We have it set up just like that, and we have noticed that a couple of the ones that we've killed. And also, I've noticed that y'all don't have 55 overseers inside your Cardoon.
Yeah, these guys have pretty effectively surrounded them. So
yeah, ours looks pretty much just like that.
Yeah, and I'm wondering. Okay, this has been taken over by the elves as well. So I'm not sure if you guys have taken control of the 200 tile.
Yes, we've taken the 200 tile. We have our people on it.
That's interesting then, because like I said, in the betas, they would stop spawning new camps.
They are not nearly as bad as they were, but they're not nearly as persistent. The attacks have stopped, but we have noticed that if we take a keep about 10 hours later, that same keep with the same name we've taken reappears.
And now that, I believe, is because the commander like the keep gets named after the commander that's building it, and it's just like ours where they would technically be reusing the same commanders over and over again, just with different troops. But that is interesting to hear that you guys are still duking it out with Angmar, but it sounds like you've got them pretty well under control. Just going to be a little bit more.
I don't know if you see your Discord, but Mika just put in the Discord chat what we need to do. I see. Okay. I will let my people know. Thank you, Mika.
Okay. There we go. Thank you very much for that one, Mika. He's got everybody's back, it seems. I've noticed that. Posting a bunch of helpful stuff. Well, let's get on. I do have a few questions for you here. Just curious about a few things. Is this your first experience with the game as when it's launched here? Did you have beta experience? How long roughly have you been playing?
So I was at work and one of my buddies was playing this game and I was like, "Hey man, what is that?" And he was like, "Oh dude, it's Lord of the Rings." I was like, "No, no, it's not. I love Lord of the Rings. I'm getting ready to download it." Well, I downloaded it and got put on a different server, and I was like, "Hey, what's your clan tag? What's your name? Blah blah blah. I'll add you." And since we're both good, we'll both be in the same fellowship or whatever. Well, I didn't know that each faction had its own fellowship. So I was Lothlorien and he's Gondor. Well, I noticed that we weren't on the same server, so I was like, "Oh, that's why I can't add you." So I found his server and I joined Lothlorien again because I'm all about the elves.
Nice.
And elf all day, baby. Hashtag elves. And he is Gondor. Well, we have a set alliance with Gondor, and we're gonna, at the end, do a mock battle where we just set all of our forts and attack each other and then whoever's the winner, then we'll get to attack Dol Guldur.
Nice. Gonna have a little decider beforehand, eh?
Yeah. So our plan is Gondor and Lothloria are going to sweep the world, and whoever has the 20, which I think there's actually enough for both of us to have 20 plus captive plots on the land. So we'll see how that goes.
For the region control?
For the region control?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I've been playing for 12 days. Okay. But I've only been on this server for 10 days because I had to lose my server progress and come to my friend's server because I didn't know. Yeah.
A little bit of juggling to do.
So I was a little bit behind, but I'm really into war games. I played a couple of other phone games like Total War, but it's so pay to play or pay to win, you can't really do anything against anyone.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the fact that if you have a stamina potion, I had enough to buy it and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I got to get this last like 200. I'm right here. I have no more stamina." So I bought one. And actually, if you read it, when you do the stamina potion, you have a 24-hour cooldown before you can use the stamina potion again. Yeah. And I was like, that is awesome for free to play players.
And it only provides 60 stamina. It doesn't it doesn't fully refill the stamina.
And
so it's only
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I do find that they've put a lot of really good checks in place to prevent this game so far from becoming pay to win.
Oh, and it's not so much where it's like, "Oh, it's not pay to win." Like I bought I think it's like $4.99 the month pack or whatever it is for the 150 gems.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You know what? If I was to go to Best Buy or GameStop, I'd spend $60 on one game." Exactly. What's $4.99, you know?
There you go. That's a good way of thinking about it. If you're enjoying the game, that's kind of the thing about it, right?
Oh, 100%.
If that $4.99 is worth it to you, then that's what matters.
So you played in the beta, right? So you got to keep your beta characters and move them over into your servers?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope. All the progress that we made in the betas was reset. What we did get was a gem refund. Anyone that played in the betas, if you spent money, if you bought gem packs, things like that, then that accumulated in the store, and we got a sizable, depending on how much you ended up spending, players got sizable gem refunds at the launch. And so that's how players like myself were able to go through a ton of Matham chests and unlock
Neat.
certain commanders early on. But no, progress in that way, like I said, it did get wiped. And that's going to be the same with the special servers that they've got going right now from what I hear. But I'm still not certain on that. But it does sound like you kind of answered my second question there as well. I was just curious what drew you to the game. But it sounds like you were a pretty big Lord of the Rings fan to begin with, and then also into this style of game as well. So it sounds like a pretty good combination.
I've seen the movies probably hundreds of times, and I've seen the Hobbits probably like 50 plus times. I literally just put it to go to sleep.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
Can recite it by now.
Oh yeah.
So was there any particular reason that you chose the elves? I guess it's just that you, as you said, you're elf for life, right? You're #elves.
I'm elf for life. I played World of Warcraft, and the only reason I wasn't a night elf is because I wanted to be a Tauren, which was the cow. Yeah. But I knew they were gonna make an evil elf for the Horde, and it was a blood elf. And then I was like, blood elf everything.
Well, there you
go. Yep. I've just always been fascinated with like the immortal aspect of elves, and a lot of elven lore, whether it be Tolkien or I can't think of his name right now, but there's it talks about like the afterlife is when you die, you like become an elf. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to find that book and send it to you.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one for sure.
But no, I thought I didn't know how the heroes worked, so I thought if I was Lothorian, I would like get more elven heroes.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I'm getting Legolas, I'm getting Gimli, I'm getting Haldir, like, let's go. Well, I saw that Lothlorien had Haldir, and I was like, oh, heck yeah. Like, man, he was trying to save Aragorn. It's just bad luck. He got stabbed. Like, man. But I'm going to play him, and I'm going to make it not die. And he dies all the time. I'm like, damn it. Nope, he dies all the time.
Now, it's funny because Haldir, he can be a very strong commander. I know a lot of people kind of start
He's
off
broken.
And
he's very broken.
Yeah, his guide tree, I find, is one of the big trees on the good faction. I'm really disappointed they removed it from Gandalf the Grey. Increasing the allied unit damage is great. And then both offshoots of it are pretty handy.
Well, actually, we've my server, the Death Watch, our clan or fellowship, we've found out that if you do the tier 3 into beast training and guide, you get double heals, and the Boronines, the bear men, never die.
Yeah.
You use I think the perfect math we've got is 64 Boromirs and 2,000 March Wardens. The Boromirs never die.
Yeah, I remember in the last beta when I was playing Mordor, and I believe King Dead can probably remember this as well. The elves, when we first started fighting them at the Black Gate, that was the combination we were running into, was March Wardens with Bearmen on Haldir.
Yes.
And for the life of us, we could not figure out how to counter it at first. It was just brutal. It was killing everything.
Well, actually, since you're Rohan, you actually have the only counter for that.
What, with the marshals?
Dunedains.
Oh, well, no, Gondor has the Dunedains as well.
Oh, okay.
Well, all the good factions.
Well, all good factions have Dunedains, yeah. But like just skipping the melee line and going straight to the archers.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
that's
no.
But I mean, that Bearman combination with Haldir and the beast training, and like you said, with guide on top of it, it does so much damage. It's
so much damage.
It is a brutal composition to go against, in my opinion. If anyone that has Haldir and the ability to get Bearmen, I do suggest going with that beast training build because it's powerful. So I was going to modify that question a little bit just to see, are you happy since you're such an elf fan, are you happy with the representation of elves that they offer you with their units? I know a lot of elf fans think there should be more elven commanders, and I do agree with that.
See, that's going to be the hard part, though. In the movies, not the story and the book, there are not that many elven commanders to choose from.
Right.
Like, the only one you actually see is Haldir.
Right.
Now, the king Elrond, and actually in The Hobbit, where they show you Theoden, they're like those are strong commanders, but yeah, they're tier 3. That's why they're tier 3, is because they're strong. You have a Galadriel, I think.
Gil-galad is in there as well at tier 2, tier 3.
And but those are the kings, and those are the only commanders you really see in the elven storyline.
Yeah, and like you said, they are powerful, which is why they're tier 3. And I guess it's one of those things that tier 3 is where you find your elven commanders en masse, kind of thing.
Oh, 100%. I'm happy with it. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 tier 3 elven commanders. Okay. And then you have Legolas and Arwen. Those are both elven.
Yeah.
And then you have Haldir. How many more elven commanders do you want?
There you go. A lot of people they complain about. I don't know if many people have actually done that count, because you bring up a really valid point there. There's a decent. That's what, 7 that you just named.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's 7. And technically, if you want to get deep in this crap, King Aragorn, King of Men, his wife.
Hey, there you go.
Is elven, and his son is half elven. So if we're gonna go into the future, all right, let's have little Prince Aragon out here.
There we go. Got it all covered. That's gonna be in the expansions in a year to come or something.
Download this new map. Hashtag DeathDoctor and AJ McGamer.
There we go. Maybe we've planted the seed. So on the topic of commanders, who are you finding is your favorite or your main commander right now?
My favorite commander and main commander, which I'm trying to switch because I just got both of them on a lucky draw. My main commander right now is Haldir. I have him as 36 spec'd into. He's tier 5, so I have him 14 points in Sylvan Elf, 7 in Beast, and then I have 10 in Gladrihim, and then I have 5 in ranged units receive 10% less damage.
Okay.
So with my beast men, my bear men tanking, my elves also take way less damage, even if they get hit. So I hardly lose any March Wardens as well. So
there you go. So that's,
but I also have points into guide, so that way I do extra damage.
Nice.
And I actually just got my first 260 tile, so I've literally stopped using him, and he's been on that 260 tile with your ring output.
Mock battling, eh?
Mock battling all day, every day. As soon as I have 5 red ability points, they're gone.
It's worth it though, once you start getting up in those 200 plus tiles, the mock battles take a big jump.
Well, funny enough, you're talking about 200s. My level 31 Legolas and level 31 Gimli, I team them up, and they both take 200 tiles all the time. 200, not 300.
You said Legolas and Gimli, eh?
I have, yep.
Nice.
I got lucky and got Legolas and Gimli in one of the draws that I had.
And what respect level is your Legolas at?
He is at 2.5.
2.5. There you go.
I am work every time I get a leaf, it goes right to him. Nice. Everybody's like, why don't you just get Arwen? I was like, because the respect points are way better than just getting a whole new commander that I'm at to level up. Especially when I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 10 commanders already, and I can barely put 5 full commanders out there. So it's like, I'd rather have 2 level 50s.
There you go.
Big, strong armies out there instead of these little tiny ones that get wiped out because the level 45 just kills it.
Yeah. And if you can get Legolas to respect 5, he can have that same dwarf elf
Yes,
benefit that Gimli does, and if you're already teaming
I
them up
I
together,
read
that's
that.
going to be brutal.
I'm waiting for the Elven chest, which is the next thing we have.
Ah, really? Because they must be different per server then. Because, well, I guess, yeah, I guess your server might have been out later than ours because we've got the Elven chest going right now. It's actually going to expire in a few days, I think.
Well, speaking of that, your server may be fuller than ours as well because it's 500 rings to 65. Well, there's also a timer that's running. So if the timer hits before we hit 500 rings at level 65, it'll go to the next one. So that's why I was
Okay.
thinking all of the servers that are not special, like all the old servers, the OG servers, are going to be the merged servers.
Yeah. We're just not sure, I think, how they're going to do the merge, whether it's going to be, like server 1 and server 2 get merged, or
Right.
if they're going to do it at
1 through
random.
10.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
not, those details haven't come out yet, and we never actually got to see a seasonal reset in the betas. So that's going to be a whole brand new
Well,
experience for all of us that we all get to experience together. That's going to be fun.
if any dev is listening, uh,
Yeah, I mean,
I think what they should do is take the percentiles of who plays what, and that questionnaire that they had you do at the beginning of the game, they should send one out. Hey, the season's coming to an end. Did you like your faction? Do you plan on changing your faction? And if they're like, they get those tallies, and you can be like, okay, well, there's going to be 1 through 10 server, everybody was Gondor, and now they all want to play Mordor. Well, let's put them in server 1, and then everybody that was server 15 to 20, they all want to be elf. Well, let's put them in server 1 as well, so that way there's an even amount of good and
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, I
But
do agree with that they need to hopefully do something to address like what's happening on our server where Rohan is just running away. There need to be equal groups like that. If
yeah,
there's a Rohan group like that, fine. But then there needs to be, like you said, either a Mordor or an Isengard or even Dwarf or Elf or whatever to go against them. It can't
right.
just be
Yeah.
one large group of players overrunning a server.
I feel lucky enough that our server, we as elves, like we're number one, but we're only number one by like 300,000 power.
Well, there you go. That's a good like
Like,
competitive server.
but the top 5 people are Gondor
Ah,
by like 10,000 power.
that's interesting.
But our alliance has 94 people in it, and Gondor only has like 76 people in it.
Ah, and yeah, like you said, so
So
they've
that's
got,
how we're 300,000 more than they are, is because we have 20 more people.
yeah, and
Especially when the faction production came in, like I went from
we already
like
saw the updates.
16,000 production to 25,000 production. I was like, oh, okay, like cool. And then it kind of kicked everybody into gear. It was like, hey, we need to be taking effigies. Oh, actually, speaking of effigies, that's
Yeah.
uncanny effigies. It's in the power production to give it to you. They don't.
What do you
That's
mean?
that's another. If you click on your power production per hour,
Yeah.
it says Fellowship Production, Occupy Uncanny Effigies. It's supposed to give you 500 power an hour, right?
Yeah, I think the effigies, because the mysterious springs give 250.
Yep.
Yeah, where? Yeah, I'm sure you're right that the effigies are 500. But you say they're
The
not
effigies are
actually.
500. Click your power per hour,
Yeah.
and if you read it, it says Uncanny Effigies. So you're telling me that at 500 power per hour, your people don't have more than 5 Uncanny Effigies?
Probably not.
Oh, I know on my server, Toby alone has 10.
Yeah, and there was something that was changed with that in the beta where I thought
Are we getting a percentile of that
I thought they had changed
power an hour?
effigies to personal power. I thought they had removed it from the Fellowship
Right.
power
Okay,
production and
so
transferred it to personal production. So maybe they just didn't edit.
edit the writing.
Yeah,
That
edit the
makes sense.
tooltip because
It says it there.
yeah, like you said, it
And
does say it there, and I know it used to work like that. Both the Uncanny Effigies and the Mysterious Springs would provide Fellowship production, but I'm sure they made a change, and that I can't remember if it was one or both of these got switched to personal.
Well,
Production.
Mysterious Springs still give the production, and it also shows on the map. So if you go to your map, there's like a little blue water
Yeah.
droplet. It lets you know your alliance owns that.
Yeah, okay, and that's the thing, because there used to be a little icon like this for the effigies as well.
And they just haven't moved the
Yeah, so I think
the
that's
wording
what,
on it.
I
And
think
everybody
that's what
was
the
mad.
case
They were
is.
like, dude, I've been taking effigies for like 3 days in a row now and waiting for the production to boost, and it didn't boost anybody's. And he was like, well, I guess I'm going to get rid of them and finally get my wood back.
Oh, wait, okay, so King Dead says, I think he's addressing this, that we need to... no, I still don't think, King, that effigies provide Fellowship power anymore. I think it is just the Springs. Regardless, thank you for bringing that up, because I'm going to be keeping an eye on it myself and see if I can find an answer for sure. See if it is just an edit that they forgot to make.
Yeah, if you go to chapter 6, Factions Arise, it's the last piece. It says structures and landmarks
Yeah,
occupied
okay.
by the faction begin producing power.
Yeah, and so it would have popped off there.
Yeah,
So
so
I guess a way
Uncanny
to confirm
Effigies
it,
would have
I guess a
popped
way
it.
to confirm it would be if there was somebody on a server that hadn't completed Objective 6 yet. If they were able to take an effigy.
Yeah, we did. That's what I was trying to tell you. We had them before the ample power came up. We were expecting this big power boost, and then we didn't get it.
Well, and this is what I'm saying, is the way to confirm our theory on it is that if somebody were to note their power per hour before they took an effigy, and then take an effigy before this ample power thing is active.
Okay.
If they take the effigy before this is active and they receive the 500 power per hour,
Yep.
then we know that the effigies aren't connected to your fellowship.
Okay. Yep. I gotcha.
Because these structures and landmarks that are activated with ample power, those are the things that provide that bonus. And like you said, activate the effigies and such. Or the springs, I think it is. So I think that would confirm it. If we could... But that would, like I said, require somebody on a server that hadn't completed Objective 6 yet. Which I'm sure we can find.
Oh yeah, it would be the newest server they just created,
Yeah.
255 or something like that.
And I think we already covered this, but because you were saying that your main commander right now is Haldir, and you had mentioned that your troop composition for him right now is basically March Wardens and Bearmen, right?
Yep, March Wardens, Bearmen. If I know I'm going to fight somebody that is cavalry, like Rohan or the level 35 AIs we were just fighting, I would put in the cavalry archers because they do bonus damage.
Yeah, the bow knights there, eh? Or
Yeah.
or the cavalry archers themselves. Yeah, the tier 2 ones.
Yeah, I don't remember what they are.
So yeah, I know the tier 2 get the bonus damage against large units as well, but the tier 3 are the bow knights, and I always default to calling things by their tier 3 name.
Yeah. Bow Knight is Giant Slayer. Yeah, it does 50% more damage. Yeah. Those orgs were crazy though. Just coming in at 2. We have 200 tier 3 orcs coming at you, and I'm like, what? Like these trolls are massive. Like
Yeah, when you see that 220 of them, it's like 110 cave trolls or mountain trolls and
yeah.
110 ravagers. It's just like, no, thank you.
Well,
No, thank you.
I hope they do something with prestige points because I'm sitting at 400k.
Nice. There you go. Yeah, right
Yeah.
now they're just
So,
bragging rights, but you have the right to brag. There
hey, I
you
killed a shit ton of AIs. Like,
go. And so one of the last things I want to just ask you, basically not, just getting your thoughts on the state of your server, the state of the game in general, what you like, what you don't like, things like that.
the state of our server is chaos with a capital K. Like, um, our world chat is redonkulous. Um, Gondor is arguing with Mordor. Isengard is arguing with Gondor. Gondor is arguing with Rohan. Rohan is not saying anything anytime at all ever. They have like four, one, two, three, four. They have four keeps, and they have Goldadur surrounded. Um, it's it's chaos. Everybody hates the elves. We have a real alliance with Gondor because they want to merge the 25 people that we have that are active daily with their 15 people that are active daily to merge into one guild next
Ah,
uh, server merge season
there you
and
go.
own the server. And we're thinking about if we get to, we're going to be Arnor,
Nice.
the uh, the nobility, and we're going to take out Linden Shot and Agamar immediately as fast as we can.
Oh, there you go. Revealing the plans on stream here, though. Gonna have people preparing for you now.
Oh, I don't like things easy.
There you go.
So I know my clan is not on here, but I am playing the clan diplomat, and I should not be. Let me tell you, I am playing Isengard against Gondor. I'm playing Gondor against Mordor and Isengard. I'm trying to talk to Mordor
Nice.
to go in with Isengard to fight Rohan.
Nice.
And I'm sitting here just chilling, fighting the AI. Like, yeah, everybody's going to war but us, baby. We're gonna come in and swoop.
And
We already know we can beat the dwarfs. The dwarfs tried to fight us. They surrounded our King's Hall,
oh yeah,
and
you're in King's Hall.
we were like, look, we're not fighting King's Hall right now. We take all these lands to the west, and they were like, well, we have your King's Hall, and I was like, okay, fight it, hit it, please, attack these level 45s. Y'all like a level 30. Well,
Jeez.
we took all our keeps, and then we went back over to King's Hall, and they're French, so they were all asleep while we were awake, and we destroyed their armies
Very
and moved
nice.
them out. And then they were like, "Oh my gosh, please, peace, peace, peace," and we're like, "Yeah, uh-huh."
Yeah,
So
exactly. Very
I've
nice though.
secretly been playing everybody against everybody,
That's the way you got
and
to
in
do
the
it a lot of
end,
the time.
I'm getting that ring, baby. I'm getting that Dominator stat.
Good stuff. Good stuff. That's the one aspect of this game that some people don't ever really delve into or don't even understand that is kind of a thing is the ability for diplomatic options, whether they be good and good natured or whatever, or covert or subvert or whatever you want to call it, as you're doing. That's the way I usually roll.
Yeah.
um, I
The
like
only
being
the only good alliance that I have is with one Swan. That's it. Me, Death Watch and Swan are a unit.
Swan.
We are literally
Wait,
yes,
wait, Swan? What?
Swan. Yeah.
What are they? Who is? I'm sorry, that's confusing to me because Swan, as I know it, was originally Gondor that I was a part of, Swan Connery, and then when that changed and we all went evil, I recreated Swan as Mordor.
Really?
Under
That's funny.
under so what awesome name.
Yeah,
Um,
server 64. His name is Titty Boy.
wow,
He has Gladrian. Hold on, let me look at the.
there's another
He's
Swan.
yeah. It is Swarnolds and
Oh
Donalds.
my god.
I'll
Nope.
send you a little picture of it. It's funny.
Nope.
They,
That's not
but
allowed.
because it's the Swan Knights, so
Yeah.
there's Swanolds and Donalds. Like,
Yeah. No, I do know that there's a lot of people in Gondor that will use Swan as a name just because Swan Knights are a thing, and I
right.
don't blame them.
I mean, that's like our Mordor faction. Their 4-letter guild name is Mord,
Mord. There you
and
go.
I have no problem with roleplay. I have no problem with like RPG. Cool, get it. Play your game, man. But these Mordor people are sitting here like, oh, I want to peel the flesh off the elven bones and eat their ears. And I'm like, cool.
All right.
I'm gonna go farm now. Like,
Yep. Taking it a little bit too far sometimes, but hey, like you said,
yeah,
a little bit's all right. But yeah, it can be
yeah,
taken too far.
yeah. Or like, I think I have a female portrait because my in-game name is Ezra Scarlet,
Oh yeah.
and they'll be like, oh, your hair smells so nice, elven lady. And I'm like, you're the guy at the bar that I walk away from.
There you go. So if there are any shout outs or plugs that you want to throw out there just to finish this off, the floor is yours. Like I said,
All right.
yeah.
Um, any of y'all have questions or anything? I'm usually in the Discord. It's Lord of the Rings Rise to War Discord. I go into the English one and I answer questions all to the best of my knowledge. I do a lot of research. I've used AJ McGamer. Hey, thanks for hosting. I have used King, and I've also used Disturbian, if I said his name right. Or he is also a YouTube streamer,
Awesome.
and I try to help everybody out the best I can. So do a good game. I can't wait to watch you hit this 300 and lose all your troops. But hey,
Yeah,
let's hit it.
that's coming up. We got to wait for Arwen to finish up her mock battle there, but once she does, we're gonna get her trooped up. If we need to buy a stamina tincture to make her join the fight, we're gonna do that. But that is going to be how we end the stream tonight, is taking a 300. We ain't doing this to just see troop losses and go with our tail between our legs. We're ending this stream with a bang.
All right. Can't wait to see it.
Alrighty,
I'm
man.
gonna try to go fix this Isengard war. I'm gonna try to get him to get out of my lands.
Sounds good, man. Thank you very much for coming on tonight. It was a great chat, and maybe we'll have you on again.
Appreciate it. Anytime. I'll be here.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Alrighty. Well, that was a good little chat with DeathDoctor. Definitely sounds like he's got an interesting server that he's playing on. So what have I been missing out on in the chat? I was glancing over, and I did see a few questions and comments come in. Northern Frenchman, thank you very much for joining. I'm running this on Nox Player. I know a lot of people use BlueStacks, but I personally use Nox Player. Yeah, the prestige points there, Blaze Chai. That's why I just popped over to my settlement to show you where you could find the prestige points and what they were. Looks like I gotta get my lighting situation sorted out. What's going on behind me there? That's an interesting one. And Kristen F, I did see this question come in, and I wanted to make sure I addressed it. When you asked Cav Archers or Bow Knights instead of the March Wardens or instead of the Bearmen, neither. I believe I actually meant to confirm this with DeathDoctor. But going off my own knowledge, if I were running that composition myself and I needed to include cavalry archers or bow knights, I would just add them in as a third unit and probably reduce the number of march wardens, leaving the bearmen as the main front line. But as he's running it right now, he's just loading up extra on the march wardens and bearmen if he doesn't need to counter something. At least that's the gist of what I was getting. Yes, Blaze Chai, the time zone difference can make a huge difference in battles. And also, Pablo hit it right on the nose. Diplomacy and strategy is key in this game. If you're able to master diplomacy, you can get very far. I don't know if this is actually... Yeah, no, I shouldn't have done this. What am I doing? I should have taken... the flyers at these guys. That was a dumb move. No problem, Kristen. I'm glad you were still here to catch that. What is this? Like High Quest? Hello, Wubto. And yeah, I'm just catching up on my red book of Westmarch here. Since I'm a little bit behind, and I'm saving troops to take a 300 tile at the end of this. Waiting on Arwen to finish up a mock battle so that she can join the fight. The only pain in diplomacy is people that don't listen to their alliance and break the treaty unintentionally. Yep, rogues can make things difficult. But that's where I find it comes down to leadership to really kind of earn the respect of their members enough that people listen. If your members don't have faith that what you're doing or what you're asking is actually beneficial, is going to help them progress, then chances are they're not going to want to listen. But if you can show them through action that trusting your decisions or trusting what you ask can be the right call, it can be a lot easier and you can find less and less rogues. One of my big things, like when I was leading Mordor faction, I was, like I said, the Mordor Swan last beta, I don't like to be the kind of leader that just says, this is what's happening, no questions asked. I really like to try and communicate with people, and sometimes it slows down the decision-making process. But personally, I like to try and get as many people involved as I can to just make everything smooth. And, you know, communication is really the biggest key. As long as everybody's in the loop, then things go a little bit better. You might want to save the Witch King's army there. Why, thank you. Or was that for the one I just beat? Yeah, that one, they don't really have any archers, as I remembered, so the archers are the only things that would have really torn the flyers apart. I was just a little worried that I had sent the crushers too early. But they got through that fight fine. Oh, wow. That's rough. And that right there, Blaze Chai, that's where I do say that, you know, it's always great to have generalized strats in like the Discord and things like that for the Red Book. But I always try and tell people to, what is going on with my... Oh. Yeah, it's got a weird ass... I always tell people to take those things with a bit of a grain of salt, though, just because it is still RNG based. Okay, now it's all frozen. There we go. And there are times where you can follow the perfect strategy to the letter, and you still lose, just because the numbers didn't work. Anyone that's ever played D&D just knows what we're talking about, you know. Basically, your commanders go in sometimes and just keep rolling fumbles. or the enemy just keeps rolling crits, or you get a combination of both. And at those times, no matter what you do, you're not winning. Sorry, yes, and Idarius. I did see this earlier, thinking of March Wardens, Bow Knights, and Dwarf Guardians for synergy. What do you think? I do think that's a good option. The Guardians are a pretty good front line, and you've got a lot of damage in the March Wardens and the Bow Knights. What I would say is that your Bow Knights would be kind of what I call your, and I think other people do, but too, I'm not trying to say I coin it or whatever, but your like flex unit. So if you're coming up against Mordor and they're using trolls, then yeah, your Bow Knights are a great option. But if you're fighting Isengard or Rune or something with a lot of mounts, well then maybe you want to switch that out for spearmen or cataphracts, or I don't know. I'm just saying that there may be times where the Bow Knights aren't the best option there. But if you're going for straight damage, then yeah, the combination of March Wardens and Bow Knights is going to be pretty huge. As an elves factions, I have Legolas level 45 with respect 5. Yeah, you would want to go to the respect 5 tree and go into that dwarf friend or dwarven relations tree, as well as, I'll just have to take a look at him when I get out of here. I believe it's his Sylvan Elf. Where's Legolas? Greenleaf. If you take the Greenleaf tree, you still get your attack vitals and Mirkwood Ambush for poison damage, and like this is just a high damage tree. But then if you do get him to respect 5, Dwarf Friend, Friendly Relations, and Protect Elves is a really good tree to go down, especially with a combination that you're already thinking of using, because your Guardians are now guaranteed to protect your Elven units, and they're going to get a defense bonus. Your Elves and your Dwarves are going to take less damage just by default. And from round 5 onwards, once it's at max, it's round 4, all of your allied melee units, which are your Guardians, are going to get extra damage. And at this point, you could also think about using Heralds, the Elven melee unit. I don't generally recommend them. I don't find them a very good unit. But if you have this damage bonus, as well as these things, plus their natural counterattack, they can actually do pretty well. If you've got Guardians, Wardens, or Heralds, whatever the tier 3 is called, and then your March Wardens in the back, that's crazy damage, especially if you have gone with the Greenleaf tree. Greetings, Rainbow Pit. Welcome to the stream. I mean, welcome back to the stream. I know you've been with us before. You missed the interview with DeathDoctor just a little while ago, but you are in time to see us in a little bit go after a 300 tile with no commander over level 40. 39, I think, what's her name, Arwen there, she might hit 39 after her mock battle. If she does hit 40, then she's not coming into the fight. I'm sorry, I'm not taking a level 40 into this fight. So yeah, level 38s and maybe a level 39. Haldir's only 32. Eowyn's only 35. So it's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting, that's for sure. But I'm confident. I'm confident it's going to happen. How is it going? You guys won already? No. I mean, we're dominating, yes. But we haven't actually won. Nobody's taken the ring yet. We still only own this. I mean, there's still a whole bunch of land that we don't own. So, if all of these guys were to team up and decide, you know what, let's just march on everything that's green, we'd be in a really rough spot. That just doesn't seem to have happened yet, so we're still able to just kind of march around and fight people. Yeah, Blaze Chai, that is a great point. You know, that's why I kind of stopped. I'm pretty well maxed. I could do it again, but I don't have any more room for lumber right now. So I don't need to do any more red book. Yeah, Rainbow, we've done a little bit of A kicking, that's for sure. Hey, look, their fight is extended over here. Cool. Maybe Mordor is going to push over into Gondor now. Gondor proper. I'm always curious to see what kind of fight the dwarves put up, because most people underestimate them. I never do. I originally played a dwarf, and I know that they can be extremely strong, although it takes them 3 days to join any fight. I'm still trying to figure out who's slower, dwarves or Mordor. Because trolls are pretty goddamn slow too. If you like fast march speeds, you do not want to be a dwarf, and you do not want to be Mordor. I'll tell you that right now. That's why it was nice when I played Gondor, and it's been nice playing Rohan here, using the friggin' mounted units so much. Just get everywhere so fast. I said, when you see like a 3-minute march from a tile like this to a tile like this, because you're using friggin' trolls, that's sad. Well, yeah, Mordor march speed is sheesh. Yeah, that's what comes up too. Wubto is Arnor. If I need to switch factions out of the following, which should I join? Gondor, Loth, Lindon, or Erebor? Depends on why you're wanting to switch factions, I guess. Yeah, that's tough. They're all pretty good. In terms of tier 4 units, Gondor, Loth, and Erebor are your best options. Lindon has a discount March Warden. That's just not as good. Gondor has the Swan Knights. Loths have the original March Wardens. Erebor have the Iron Warriors. Unfortunately, just, because I don't really I've never mained an Arnor or a Lindon account. I don't know anyone that's mained an Arnor or a Lindon account to an endgame state. I don't have enough info really to talk about them. All I really know is that Arnor is basically a Gondor ripoff, and Lindon is a Loth ripoff. They have the same units available to them. And like I said, the tier 4 units are basically discounted versions of the units they already have. Although the Arnor one, I was actually interested to find out that the tier 4 Arnor unit, like their tier 4 Dunedain kind of thing, is a ranged unit. That's a really tough one. All three of them have really strong points. But for different kind of reasons. Like Loth, you're gonna get your March Wardens, which are one of the highest damage dealers and hardest to deal with units in the game. You get quicker access to Bow Knights, which is gonna make 200s easier. You get Haldir right off the bat. If you go Gondor, you get Swan Knights, which are really, really helpful. You get the faster march speed because you're going to be using a lot of mounts. I can't remember who you get as the starting commander for Gondor. Maybe Faramir? And Erebor, you've got Iron Warriors as the tier 4, which are the highest defense unit in the game for like a normal frontline unit. I believe you get Dwalin as your starting commander. You've got a nice, safe starting location up in the northeast corner. Yeah, you'd get Faramir just like Arnor then. Hey, is it pronounced Mateus Alves or Alves? Thank you very much for joining the stream. I'm glad you were able to find the channel. Thank you for the kind words. I do hope the videos and the content is able to help you out. So we've got our conscription queues that can, we only got less than 200 of them. We don't need to do anything there. We need to conscript some more units though. Do that, and we'll do, we got what, 3,000 of them. Yeah, we're gonna need a few more of these. I still wish they had edited or put in an actual button that you could type in the numbers rather than using these sliders. Not a big fan of having to use these sliders. Alright, so I need more food, and that's it. Alright. Oh no, I need more gold too. I don't have enough gold to hire these guys. I don't want to waste my last 15 grand on 30 bearmen. Chicken Hawk, thank you very much for joining the stream once again. When your settlement loses all durability, you relocate to a random location. Cool. We control East Bite Keep. You relocate to a random location that your faction controls. Or that's how it used to work. I believe you can be relocated to technical enemy territory if they have taken control of it, because I think it still works on your initial spawn location. So for Rohan, for example, you would relocate to, I think, an area in here. But you get a random relocation, and it's more often than not that you go to an area that your faction either controls or has controlled. You woke up this morning and got ported, Michael L? Well, that's no fun. Oh, your brisket is cooking. Very nice. Love me some good brisket. You missed the interview with DeathDoctor, I believe. We had him on a little while ago. I did some Red Book progress. Other than that, not a whole lot. Except we got an hour left. Oh, it looks like the stream is gonna run a little long. We got a whole hour left before Arwen is done her mock battle. We could attempt the 300 without Arwen, but I would feel a little more confident having her along. So I think I'll leave that up to stream, up to the chat here. If you think we should wait for Arwen to finish her mock battle in an hour, then we'll wait and take the 300 with her. If you think we should attempt it early, then you might be able to twist my rubber arm into it. No guarantees, though. The sweaty Mordor beta males stocked up 200 marches on a keep and bombed us? Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, Blaze Chai, as I said, the other issue I had with hiring bearmen anyway was I don't have the gold for it. I can't afford more than 30 bearmen gold wise. Just YOLO the 300, says Blaze Chai. Well, we got one YOLO in the chat. If you want to see me go at that 300 early, throw a YOLO in the chat. And that'll be your support for Blaze Chai and the early 300. It seems like this is going to be the one. This is just the one we keep coming back to. This quarry. If I take it and get a message from somebody in my fellowship telling me that I wasn't supposed to take it, that might be the last straw. They ported like 10 of you? Oh my god. What units does the 300 have? I'm sending a scout to see the composition. Well, the unfortunate thing with scouting is, and I actually saw that somebody put out a video all about scouting tiles. I'm curious to check that video out to see if he addresses it properly. Because, yes, it's kind of possible to scout tiles, but it is a time-limited thing. You can't just scout a tile and then be guaranteed you know what you're hitting if you don't hit that tile in the right time frame. As soon as you hit the tile with your scout, it's going to activate the recovery timer. Once that recovery timer runs down, the defenders change. So you're first of all only able to scout the first commander on something like a 200 plus that's got 2 defenders. You can't scout the second commander. And if you wait too long to be able to hit it, then your scouting was pointless. That's the big reason I have avoided doing any kind of video or tips regarding scouting tiles, because it is such a risky, non-guaranteed thing. I don't scout tiles because it's just useless. It takes up too much time. There's too much planning involved. If it doesn't work, it's a waste of all that time and planning. It's very rare that I've ever scouted a tile and then actually been able to make a troop composition to counter it specifically and hit the tile and make the scouting pay off. Like I said, it's a really tough thing to make work. Yeah, King Dead, and that's the way you do have to scout. Basically, is that you set your armies up on the sidelines. You take a tile beside the one you want to scout. You scout the tile. If your commanders are already set up to counter what you're facing, then great, you can just send your commanders. The issue that I'm talking about, and this is something I ran into personally, was you would send your commanders to a tile, get them ready, you would send your scout, the report would come back, and you'd realize, oh crap, I'm not set up for this. I need to counter this commander with these troops. And so you have to send a commander back to your base, retool their troops, march them back here. And yeah, in a case like I've got here, I'd probably be able to do it because this is so close to my base. But if you're trying to scout a tile, like if I was up here, there's no way I would be able to scout a tile up here and actually adjust troop compositions to counter something that I wasn't expecting. I would, if I already had the troops here to take the tile, then the scouting was pointless anyway. So that's my logic behind it. The scouting is only useful to find out if you need to counter the tile. But if you can't set up and get there in a time effective manner, the scouting is pointless. So yeah, a scout button. Exactly, King Dead. Like, I've just decided that, you know what? That's why I suggest that it's better to over prepare. If you're not 100% confident that you're going to take the tile, it's better to over prepare than under prepare. Because the worst that's going to happen if you over prepare is you're going to take the tile. The worst that's going to happen if you under prepare is you're going to take a shit ton of losses, not take the tile, and waste a whole bunch of time. So, that's why, like, right now, I'm not 100% confident that I'm going to take this tile because it's a 300 and I'm using commanders at less than 40. So I'm going to send 6 of them. And I'm ready and willing to reinforce one of those, if not 2 of those, or 3 of those commanders to basically make it add up to like 7, 8, or 9 total. As you've seen my barracks, I've got the troops, I've got the commanders, I've got everything set up and ready to go that, like, this tile is going down. I was confident I was going to take my 300. Oh, that one you showed me the other day. Oh my God. That was... Don't remind me of that, man. I don't need to be getting cold feet right now. 'Cause yeah, just remembering the battle reports of that. Oh, that was so brutal. That Karoon, man, he just kicked your ass. Yes, Kristen. I was able to, with the Matham chests, I was able to get a decent amount of gear, so I was able to strengthen and refine some of my purple pieces. I was able to get a decent amount of legendary gear. So again, like, this isn't something that I would recommend other players to do, but because of the commanders I have at the respect levels I have them, with the builds I've got, with the units I've got, even if I could get, like, what would I need to do to get Theoden? Oh, fuck, he'd need, because I'd love to get him to 39 to be able to max this out. But he needs a decent chunk of experience. Like, he almost needs 160,000 experience to do that. So that would be like, how much experience do you get for, do I have a report on, yeah, like, what do you get for, see, like, Jesus, 230. Okay, actually, yeah, okay, so 50, 55, 93. You'd basically need to take two 230s to get that level, I think. As Mordor, what unit composition would be good to take the 200 tiles? I can't speak as confidently about that as I can for the good faction, because in the beta, 200 plus any tiles that the evil factions attacked were defended by evil troops, which made things really weird, because that meant 200 plus tiles. You were going against trolls and things like that. I think I've read reports or heard things that there's a lot of mounted units on 200 tiles if you're the evil faction. So probably bringing in a lot of halberdiers. Yeah, probably just focus on halberdiers rather than the wargs. Like halberdiers, snipers probably, because I imagine some of those mounted units are going to be bonites. So if you get the halberdiers and and snipers paired up together, then they're going to double up their damage bonuses on the bonites. Maybe mountain trolls to soak damage for them. A commander like Grima causing madness on the enemy, just to try and get them to do some damage to themselves. Those would probably be the best tips I had. Kamul using the Mountain Troll Reaper combination might work well with the added defense that he's giving to the army. But it's something that I would need more either reports from people, more anecdotal evidence, or anecdotal experience, or more personal experience now as the evil factions going against those tiles to speak more confidently on it. Alright, I think I've gotten a little impatient here. I gotta bring these guys back though. That's the issue now. Okay. Go back up here. You go back. We can speed all this up though, because we got a ton of speed ups that we haven't been using. So everybody go home. Take your balls and go home. Because we got a 300 to take. Oh, yes, we do. All right, they're back at the fort. Now they can all go home. God damn it. No, go home. Go home. Go home. Look at him just flying. He's gonna be 15 minutes. There we go. One back. We got two back. And we got three back. All right. You just get right on back there. I don't need to do that. I got more of these to use. Well, thank you very much, Atanas Georgiev, for that subscription. I do appreciate that. So Zwazi, when the servers reset, anything that you have the ability to pay for, so commanders, respect levels for those commanders, gear, those things will all carry over. Anything you earn in game, so experience levels for the commander, tiles, things like that, your ring levels, those will all be reset. You can find all this out if you come up to your, as you saw, the faction tab here. If you go over to target and click info, this will tell you what a season is. And then if you click after the season, this will actually explain to you what will be kept. Why is this doubling up? That's weird. I mean, thank you again for the subscription, but yeah, I thought that already went off. So this shows you what items will be retained, and then down here will show you what is going to be reset. And at the beginning of each season, you can choose your faction again. We got some tips in here we can claim as well. Hey, there's 20,000 gold. Alrighty. So we got Theoden back home now. Where's this? Where'd it go? There it is. Alright. So we're gonna march everybody over here. All right. Actually, you know what? I don't even care. Take whatever experience she got. I want her in this fight. And she's got enough stamina to do it. Sounds good to me. Alright, let's see. We're gonna give her, she's given bonus damage to men units, so we'll go with those, I think. Alrighty. Oh wait, what the hell are you doing with all these things still? You do not need these guys. Other people need that stuff. Alright. Arwen, you can come join the party. Alright. We've got a few minutes before everybody is in position. Get your votes in the chat now. Are we going to take it? Are we not? What do you think? How confident is everybody that this thing's going down like a clown? So while we're waiting for everybody to get their votes in, I will just talk about why I'm even attempting this. The only reason that I'm even doing something this silly, as I touched on earlier, is because of the way I've been able to build the commanders that I'm bringing to the fight. So Theoden here, as you can see, he's got decently high might, almost 300 speed. He's giving his mounted units extra attack, extra HP. Oh god, the lag is going crazy. Come on, anytime. He's giving extra damage to his mounted units, modified by the speed stat, which again is almost 300. I believe in battle it actually goes up even higher. He's also healing his mounted units. Like I said, this would be even better if I could have gotten it this one extra point to max it out. Eowyn is pretty much the same. She's healing her mounted units, healing all of her units, increased damage for herself and her mounted units. We've got Galadriel coming in doing a decently high focus damage herself, and she is just a damage dealer, boosting her own focus damage. Her normal attacks are causing focus damage. This is focus damage twice, effect modified by the focus stat to separate targets. And then this has madness attached to it as well to try and help me out there, along with some healing. And then Aragorn, he's also bringing healing and increased damage, and then just high damage himself. And Haldir, it's the same thing. He's bringing increased damage and then healing his beast unit. So as you can see, the main thing that I'm bringing to this fight that makes me confident is healing. Lots and lots of healing. Damage reduction, healing. If I didn't have all of that, the damage reduction, the healing, the damage increases, I wouldn't be trying this. But like I said, I do actually think with these 6 commanders, if I send them in the right order, that's the other thing. If I send them in the wrong order, this could completely go to shit. Somebody like Aragorn doesn't want to be the first commander hitting a full defender. I want to make sure that somebody like Arwen or Theoden, Eowyn, those are the ones with the big healing, basically. Those are the ones I want hitting first. Healing is always beneficial. I have found that even in PvP, I know Crown Weatherby, I talk about him a lot. He's been somebody I've developed a good friendship with in the game over the betas. And we talk a lot about our commanders and hash things out. He was sharing a lot of his old Arwen reports with me in, I think it was the second beta. And even in PvP, she was really, really effective, because if your enemy can't kill your units, they can't win the fight. That's just basically what it boils down to. So you've got all of that extra damage that they need to end up doing to win a fight. And if you can bring the right units to the fight along with her healing, like I said, something like this that's just straight up damage. If I do run into, if I run into a mounted composition, then I don't have anything to counter it. But if I run into archers, I've got the Dunedains, and then these guys are just straight damage. That's all it is. So we'll get to see some of the reports here. Lady C is going to vote yes. Well, with Lady C's vote of confidence, I think it's time to get this started. Do we send? I think we sent Theoden first. Charge. Yeah, fuck you. I know. It looks too powerful. Yeah, well. Whatever. It may look powerful. I am powerful. Yeah, screw it. Eowyn, you can go in next. And then it doesn't really matter as much. We're going to go Galadriel. Then we're going to go Aragorn. And then we're going to go... Oh, no, we're going to go Haldir next. And then Arwen. I'm not even going to read a report until I see what happens. Nobody's been sent back dead yet, so it's a good start. Is Gandalf the Grey good? Yes, but I don't think he's as good as he used to be. I'm still not certain, though, because the Mithrandir tree that he has now at base respect, it's a really strong tree. That used to be respect 5. And he used to have guide on in that slot. So I'm going to need to get some more experience with him, really, to find out if Mithrandir in that slot is better or as good as Guide was. But he is still a good commander, even if it's not quite as good as Guide was. Mithrandir is a great skill tree to have at the base respect. All right, we got to see some reports now and see how we're doing. Oh my god, that's not good to see. But it is the second commander. So, all right. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, so we need to pull you off. And we need to pull you off. Alright, so he finished off this first one. And then got his ass handed to him by this guy. 240 trolls plus 3,000 crushers? Holy shit. She got absolutely owned. Like, not even a question there. Oh my god. Okay, she's worth putting troops back on. The other ones, they can... Yeah, Haldir, you can die. But... You... No, 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 no. That's the button we were hitting. Yeah, you're getting ready for round 2. So, to anyone that was asking before what troops 300s have, the simple answer is lots. Just so many. And you can see anything from trolls and fallen together. 180 mountain trolls and 2250 fallen. Wow. All the way to, goddamn, 120 ravagers and 120 mountain trolls with 3,000 crushers. That's just ridiculous. Oh, painful. I still think it's happening though. All right, we're ready to go again. Let's do this. Charge. Arwen, you need a refill, don't you? Oh boy, we need to heal some troops first. So, Eowyn, you can go ahead and charge too. Ooh, she doesn't have many cavaliers left. All right then. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be hairy. Yeah, there goes 350 gems real easy. See, you do it quick like a band-aid. That's... Oh! Go Theoden! What a champ! What an absolute champ. Victory. Fuck yes. Not a single level 40 comm in the fight. That's how it's done. I'm showing off. Actually, you know what? I'm fucking showing off in world chat with that one. Didn't even need Eowyn. Theoden, the beast, the machine, the monster. Fuck you guys and your goddamn trolls. I only did that because you guys all had the faith I could. Alright, I could feel the energy from you guys. We did that together, alright? Teamwork makes the dream work. How much experience for a mock battle? That's a lovely question to ask. Let's find out. Insufficient grain, but you get 50,000 as a base. So that was all anticlimactic. How about everybody just wipe their memories there for a second and pretend that I had full grain and that this is still all exciting and fresh and new. And we go, whew, 750,000 plus 112,500 for a total of 862,500 experience. That's all right, Kristen. I can understand people having no faith. Yeah, like I lost all my faith, to be honest. Like when I read those first few reports, I lost all my faith. At this point, I was thinking like, oh God, this is rough. But hey, Theoden's a beast, so. I knew that I had the troops to just keep reinforcing guys and sending if I absolutely had to, and like I said, I was gonna take it, but it happened quicker than I thought. Took less losses than I thought. Oh, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This was the guy that challenged me to it. I told him I'd share my reports. So let's share all of the reports. I hope he's ready for all of these. Don't worry, there's only two more, buddy. All right, last one. It didn't seem as ridiculous until I had to actually send every single report. At that point, it was like, oh, that was something. Yeah, see, that's the problem. I send those, and now people think, oh, I can go take a 300. It's still maybe not. Still maybe not. This was a very silly thing I tried, but it worked. Here comes Karoon with 5,000 more fallen. Yeah, luckily not. I mean, still, what was it here? Yeah, 240 trolls and 3,000 crushers. That's bad enough. What was the first one that I fought there, King? Yeah, the first one that I fought here was 2,250 fallen and 180 mountain trolls. That was fun. Whew. Jesus, I didn't even check that though. 208,000 soldier damage there. The Bonites did 100k. Well, there you go, Jason. If seeing that and seeing what you might be up against gives you a bit more confidence to try it, then good luck to you. Yes, I am a little insane. Especially the level 32 and 35 Aowen were funny, yep. Yeah, the 32 Haldir, that was a bit silly. So after Halberdiers, do other units matter, or can... and he is... If he's going halberdiers and snipers, he should be pretty safe with he should be pretty safe going against Gondor with those composition, with that kind of composition. All right. So, with that being done, that is, like I said, that was kind of the last thing. So now my guys need to go home and recover a little bit. No! I just canceled his mock battle. Going too quick, I was. Going too quick. I'm Jason too. Well, hello, Jason Mateus. Thank you for joining. What do Fallen do, and what are their stats like? I will show you, Jason Fennel. Yeah, I can't believe I just did that. Canceled dude's mock battle, like, right away. Just trying to do things too fast. Alright, the Fallen. So these are a little inflated because they're on Khaldun, but you can guess they're around, I think it might be 30 and 40 is their damage numbers. Their HP is probably 90 and their defense is, actually I guess I could just find out. What is it that he's... his gear. Okay, so he's giving +2 HP, +1 attack, 10 defense. Okay, so 55 is their defense, I think. So 55 is their defense. 93, I think, is their HP. Or no, 31 to 41 is their damage. And their HP, I think, is 92. If I remember all those numbers correctly. And then their main skill here is Spite. And that will increase their damage by 6% upon receiving damage. And that stacks up to 10 times. So that'll be a 60% damage boost at max. And then they also have the mounted ability, which reduces the damage they receive by 10%. They have a pretty high speed, so they may act before your units. Their siege doesn't matter. So yeah, so that's what you're going against. I mean, I didn't have, as you saw, I didn't have any units to counter mounted. I find that mounted units are less necessary to specifically counter than ranged units. People might be able to, might have noticed that I do prioritize Dunedains a lot. Even in a case like this where I didn't end up fighting ranged units, I still prefer to have the Dunedains in there over something that's going to counter mounted. Just because I find there's a higher likelihood of facing ranged. Ranged units do more damage. And my melee units can just duke it out with their melee units. So, you know, my ranged units are there to take care of mounted units and stuff like that. And you see, I was able to take care of the Fallen here without doing anything to specifically counter mounted units. That's not always the case, but like I said, I don't find it as high a priority to counter all the time. Yes, them paired with a T5 Kamul. I can't, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but I do agree. Kamul's T5 build, I think, is meant for the Fallen, especially that one sub-skill that applies specifically to mounted units. Other than that, though, if you're not playing Angmar with Kamul, I don't think his T5 build, or his R5 build, sorry, is worth it. How do you counter the Oathbreakers? Yes, Corsairs and Alchemists. Alchemists especially, because of their burn damage. Morgul Arbalests with their poison damage can also hurt Oathbreakers. Kamul with his poison damage. Like any commanders that do poison or burn damage. So Ugthak, Kamul, Shadow. Azru Kor, I just called him AK. He was actually a really good commander too. They can all deal damage to Oathbreakers. Anyone that deals straight focus damage, obviously, so magic users. Someone like Saruman. He'd be able to damage Oathbreakers. And the other thing is, if there's any skill you can take that specifically says it allows your troops or your commander to ignore avoidance of the enemy unit, the Oathbreaker's physical damage immunity is actually treated as avoidance. So if you're able to ignore avoidance, then you can deal full damage to Oathbreakers. I can show you an example of that here. So Foresight. First 4 rounds, all allied units, 60% chance to ignore enemies' avoidance status each round. Haldir, for example, makes a great commander to use against Oathbreakers. because of this ability. Same with Faramir. Any commander with this ability. I can't remember on the evil side if there's any abilities that are equivalent, but yeah, ignoring avoidance will damage Oathbreakers. Chica, how's it going? I'm doing pretty well. Successfully took my first 300 tile with nary a level 40 in sight. Inside joke, King. I got Galadriel. Oh, mine hurts more. Is it worth to use really tank units against Oathbreakers? They do damage to them. No. You don't want to use tanky physical damage units against Oathbreakers. They deal very minimal damage to themselves with that ability. So yeah, it's not a great option. Interesting. I'm gonna search for that avoidance skill. Thanks. Not a problem, Mateus. If you find something on the evil factions that is equivalent to that foresight ability or close to it that gives you a big chance to ignore avoidance, please let me know so I can make note of it. The Rainbow Pit. Does fire damage from like pirates do damage to Oathbreakers? Yes, it does. Fire damage and poison damage is considered focus damage. So it will do damage to Oathbreakers. Alrighty. Looks like we're running down into the last minute here. I'm going to start wrapping this up. Just want to thank everybody, as always, for joining me on the stream tonight. It's been an incredible journey. You know, wasn't as active as some, but there were plans. There was things getting done, and luckily, it wasn't all for nothing. We were able to take the 300. It was amazing. It was epic. Theoden's a beast. I love that guy. If you found the stream entertaining and engaging, helpful in any way, if I've been able to answer some questions, clear some things up, please be sure to give a like and subscribe so you don't miss future ones. I also release tips and tricks videos to try and help people out when I can. I usually try for once a week to release a video. Yeah, not a problem, Mateus, and keep an eye out. There will be more content coming out. Very glad it's been able to help out. As always, too, I just want to finish off with a big thank you to Lady C, King Dead, and Cody Ragan, the patrons of the channel. Couldn't do it without you guys. If you want to support the channel, you can now do so at patreon.com/AJMcGamer, or you can also just give a little tip at ajmcgamer.live. I've got that launched now. So any support is appreciated. You don't have to. I do this for the love of it. I love helping people. Love helping people out. I just want to see more people enjoy the game. But as I said, if it happens, it's appreciated. I make sure to try and make you feel special for it. So with all that rambling done and out of the way, is Balrog worth it? Not if you can't kill it. If you can't kill it, Chica, it's not really worth it, unfortunately. And that's going to be the final question of this evening's Q&A. Thank you very, very much for joining, and we will be sure to see you in the next one on Monday. I didn't queue this up. Oh god, there we go, it's all queued up. Now I'm looking all pro again. Transition. Peace out, everybody. Thanks again. It's been fun.